Matt was saying he thought you guys had put in more plays at this point than maybe you had at some other stops.
Yeah, I think we have for sure. It's in credit to those guys trying to learn and probably put too much in too soon, but they've handled it well mentally. In 2 practices, we've had a few missed assignments, of course, but they've done a great job getting ready for practice. And then the first 2 practices, we've done a lot more probably than I've done in the past scheme-wise, and we won't do a whole lot more going forward. It's more about execution going forward.
So when you're installing with a new group like this, in your experience, how long before it really kind of becomes second nature, before it's more react and less read?
Typically, it takes through a whole spring and maybe a week at camp. Hoping it doesn't take that long because then it makes you nervous all summer. But I don't know. I think, again, it depends on how fast we progress. It's, there's a lot of things that are different, but there also has some things that they can relate to what they did in the past. So we try to do that as much as we can, even though we don't really refer to the past a lot. If there's something that we're doing now that's comparable to what they did in the past, we let them relate to it if it helps them learn quicker.
How is Matt Corral built for what you want to do with this offense?
Well, I remember seeing him in high school and thought this would be a guy that would be good because he make all the throws. He's an athletic, tough guy, a willing runner, and got athletic ability. And he seems to have all the intangibles as well. And again, it's just been 2 practices and a month of preparation. But I like what I see. I mean, there's a lot of things that all the guys got to get better at. But Matt's done a great job. Probably the only room in the country with all freshman quarterbacks, which makes me a little nervous. Freshman or redshirt freshman, but Matt's done a good job of taking charge of that room in a lot of respects.
What have you thought of the other 2 quarterbacks? I know it's awfully
Yeah, they're swimming right now, but you got to remember they're supposed to be in high school, Kincaid and Grant, and they're quick learners, and they're willing to do anything and everything and want to get better. So I've really been impressed with what I've seen so far. And sometimes I got to step back and like, God, remember these guys are supposed to be getting ready for their prom or whatever they're doing in high school. So they'll be okay.
Matt was talking about how there aren't too many seniors in this group right now. Does that make it easier for you?
You mean in the offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't.
Does that make it easier for you to install with kind of
No,
blanker
hell
slates,
no.
or-
I mean, you think of those dudes that are going to the combine and been here, I mean, you give anything to have them back. Can they, I don't think I'm going to change their mind. They're fixing to get paid. But, no, you'd like to have some of those back. That would make it easier, because you don't have to teach as many of the fundamental part. But it is what it is, and it's kind of exciting for the new guys to get an opportunity because they see all those guys are great players that left. Now, hey, I'm getting my chance now, and in a lot of ways it makes them more eager to learn and get ready to go. So you'd like to have that experience, but I think we'll be okay. And we're going to have some freshmen, a big class that are coming in, and some of those guys will have to get ready to play at just about every position offensively.
Running backs looks like there are some intriguing pieces behind Scotty. What do you see there?
Yeah, there is. And again, I have not seen one practice in pads, and so I'm going to reserve judgment on everything probably until we do a few days in pads. But there's some talent there and different types of runners, like you said. And then we have some more hopefully coming in that can contribute. But and Coach Nix has done a great job of teaching the guys so far. And I've been really pleased with the way the offensive staff and, of course, under Coach Luke's culture and then with the offensive players have bought in to what we're trying to do offensively from a tempo standpoint, from a scheme standpoint so far, and it's been fun to work with.
Matt mentioned the receivers kind of having more responsibility reading coverages. What exactly is different about what they have to do in your system as, I guess, opposed to what they used to do?
Yeah, I don't think probably as much as you think. I mean, they did some things before, and I think, again, not a lot of them played a lot, but I think some of the stuff that they did before was going to help them. And the one thing about young guys, they're still learning how to run a route, and Coach Peeler is doing a great job with them. So I don't think scheme-wise or route-wise it's a whole lot different, but it's going to be a learning curve because they're still learning how to run a hitch route or a slant route or a go route or something like that on top of how it fits into the play calling.
There's been a lot of speculation about what your offense is going to look like here based off what you've done in the past, but you told us that you spent a year basically talking football and going around and everything. Is there any kind of mad scientist element to that?
No, and
bringing in?
if I knew exactly why would I tell you?
You wouldn't,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Unless you're gonna just like write this up and like put it in your closet and never print it or put it out there, I mean, why would we tell anybody what we're gonna do, right? But the truth is, it's not, it's 11 guys and it's not, I mean, you're not gonna be, I think a lot of times the scheme is overrated. I think you have to have a philosophy offensively, what you wanna do. For us, it's not whether we're just gonna run it or throw it. I mean, we gotta be able to do both inevitably, depending on how they defend us. But it's more about an attitude and the way we're gonna attack each and every day and as an offense, and then what we're gonna do to try to win games. And a lot of it's unknown because, we'll study our opponents and see how they're gonna play us, but we have to have the ability to adjust in all phases of our offense based on how people are playing us and then who they're playing us with.
I know it's hard to evaluate the line without the pads on,
Yeah.
but what have you seen from the guys kind of competing on the left side there?
Yeah, they all look big and like ugly to me. I mean, there's just a pile of guys. Coach McNeil's, I think, is outstanding, one of the best in the country. And those guys have to be the most selfless players on our team and have to work harder. And particularly with the young guys, they're learning how to play, just playing hard all the time. And it's a little bit shocking. They did up-tempo last year, so that's not completely different. But, again, these are guys that didn't play a whole lot. A lot of them, a couple of them did. So learning how to play hard in an up-tempo scheme and all that's part of the process, and then just getting bigger and stronger through the weight room. But they have a terrific attitude, and they're going to be well coached.
Obviously, Matt benefited from this, but what difference do you think the change in the redshirt rule has made for the guys who got this extra game?
Yeah, I think in college football, period, I mean, coaches have been wanting this for years. I mean, I can speak from experience that, we've thought all along that, having the ability to have a guy play 4 games and not burn a redshirt year, not only during the season, but hopefully if you play in the postseason and getting some freshmen some quality time, whether special teams or not, all that it's a great rule. And I think playing in a couple games will, I heard Matt talking, it takes a little bit of the nerves off maybe when you actually are a full-time starter. So I think it's a great rule.